He picked the exact ring designer she obsessed over a year and a half ago. No hints, no Pinterest board, no slip-ups, just one private moment and he remembered everything. In this video, you'll uncover how Travis Kelce pulled off one of the most attentive engagement moves in celebrity history, and how Taylor Swift may have quietly planned it without saying a word. Ever casually mentioned something in passing, not realizing it would stick forever. Back in early 2023, Taylor Swift made an offhand remark about a ring by British designer Jessica McCormack. She didn't gush, she didn't make it obvious, but the admiration was real. Fast forward 18 months and the engagement ring Travis Kelce gave her is from that exact designer. No follow-up conversations, no wish list. Just a flash of appreciation, buried in time, and somehow he remembered. That kind of recall isn't common. It's intentional. And in celebrity circles, where stylists and assistants usually handle the details, it's even more rare when the guy gets it right all on his own. What does an NFL tight end know about boutique jewelry designers from London? Apparently, everything he needs to. While Travis Kelce is known for his larger-than-life personality and athletic dominance, those close to him say he has a low-key gift. He actually listens, not just nodding along but mentally filing away small remarks, preferences, passing comments. With Taylor, he seems to be on another level entirely. Friends say he remembers the tiniest things: her snack choices, her favorite wine, even jewelry designers mentioned once. The McCormack connection wasn't a fluke. It was a flex. A quiet one, but a flex nonetheless. Jessica McCormack doesn't design rings to dazzle in photo shoots, they're made to mean something. Her pieces fuse antique Georgian influences with sleek modern lines, often using blackened gold and hand-cut diamonds. Taylor once described the brand's vibe as timeless without being stiff. It's jewelry with a backstory, the kind of heirloom you wear daily, not just to galas. That design philosophy resonates with Taylor's recent shift: less red carpet glitz, more personal symbolism. And it makes Kelce's choice even more thoughtful. This wasn't just about glamour. It was about choosing something that would say something, without Taylor having to say a word. The timing of that original McCormack moment isn't random, it's revealing. Taylor had just come out of a long-term relationship with Joe Alwyn. She was in an introspective, emotionally charged season, prepping for the Eras tour, redefining her image, writing new music. That moment of jewelry admiration wasn't just style-driven, it was reflective. She was rebuilding, and her attention turned to legacy pieces, things with weight and meaning. That's when Travis Kelce started listening. Not when she was performing, not when she was public-facing, but when she was quietly finding herself again. And that context makes his choice hit differently. Look closely at the mid-tour era outfits, and you'll notice something interesting. Some of the custom jewelry pieces Taylor wore on stage began mimicking McCormack's design language. Vintage silhouettes, intricate metalwork, subtle blackened tones. Stylists denied any official collab, but fans weren't convinced. Could those costume choices have been subconscious breadcrumbs? Or was Taylor already envisioning a specific aesthetic for her next chapter? Either way, the visual language was shifting. Her stagewear, once bold and bright, had started whispering in a different direction. By the time the ring appeared, the vibe was fully set. It wasn't random, it was the next logical note. Behind every seamless gesture is a surprising amount of legwork. Sources close to the Kelce camp claim he didn't just walk into a store and buy a ring. He made quiet inquiries months in advance, tapping into stylists who had previously worked with Taylor and reaching out to McCormack's team through indirect channels. No press leaks, no showroom photos, all off the radar. That kind of stealth takes planning and trust. For a guy constantly in the spotlight, he executed the move like a pro. The end result wasn't just the right ring. It was the right approach to finding it. On paper, they're opposites. He's bold, sporty, expressive. She's poetic, introspective, deliberate. But that contrast seems to be exactly what fuels their dynamic. Taylor has long gravitated towards symbolism and sentimentality, while TaWas grounds their connection with real-time responsiveness. But what they share is memory. Not just nostalgia, but the act of remembering details, moods, references. Whether it's callbacks to lyrics or places they've visited, they fold shared memories into their day-to-day choices. And when one partner makes a major move like a proposal, it isn't out of nowhere. It's built on a long runway of invisible, emotional groundwork. Let's talk about the ring itself. It's not the biggest diamond in Hollywood. It's not even the flashiest, but it's already one of the most talked about. Why? Because of what it represents. Industry whispers suggest the ring incorporates stones from places central to Taylor and TaWas's relationship, possibly including a Missouri garnet and a London-set sapphire. If that's true, it turns the piece into a literal map of their story. Each gem a chapter, each detail a decision. And that level of personalization, especially at this level of fame, is astonishing. This wasn't a ring bought, it was built. Taylor Swift has been embedding themes of rings, heirlooms, and legacy into her lyrics for years. In Call It What You Want, she sings, "I want to wear his initial on a chain round my neck," while invisible string ties everything to fate and time. These aren't throwaway lines, they're motifs. The jewelry obsession didn't start with a ring. It's been unfolding in her songwriting since at least the Reputation era. Fans who tracked this lyric trail began noticing a pattern: physical adornments showing up alongside emotional growth. In retrospect, the McCormack ring feels like a physical manifestation of a lyrical journey. When you look at the quiet restraint of Taylor's previous relationship with Joe Alwyn, the differences become stark. Joe favored minimalism, muted gifts, low-profile choices, almost aggressively private moments. TaWas, in contrast, operates on a broader emotional bandwidth, but the McCormack ring bridges these two energies. It's not flashy, but it's not quiet. It's bold in detail, but soft in tone. That balance suggests something important. Taylor didn't just want a new love. She wanted a love that evolved her aesthetic, not erased it. The choice of ring becomes a kind of fingerprint marking not just who she loves, but how far she's come. Jessica McCormack is based in London, just steps from where Taylor spent much of her time during her relationship with Alwyn. That geographic overlap is easy to miss, but symbolically powerful. Choosing a designer rooted in that city ties the past to the present. It doesn't negate what came before, it reframes it. Rather than cutting ties with London, Taylor reclaims it under new meaning. McCormack becomes more than a designer. She's a narrative pivot point, someone who turns a familiar location into a fresh beginning. It's like rewriting a chapter using the same ink, but for a different story. The most powerful data often comes from the inner circle. Longtime friends like Selena Gomez and Gigi Hadid have been seen wearing McCormack pieces at events dating back several years. One insider even claims Selena once gave Taylor a McCormack pendant as a birthday gift. These weren't just style moves, they were planting seeds. Over time, small exposures like that shape preference. Even if Taylor didn't realize it in the moment, her orbit was already steeped in that aesthetic. And TaWas, whether directly or indirectly, tapped into that influence when making his final decision. Swifties have built careers out of noticing patterns, and in hindsight, they've got a strong case. Since late 2023, Taylor has been spotted in jewelry that echoes McCormack's signature look: antique silhouettes, black and gold, asymmetrical settings. At first, it seemed like a stylistic coincidence, but now, fans suspect it was deliberate foreshadowing. Even backstage gifts to her dancers have mimicked McCormack's vibe. Some believe this was Taylor's quiet way of syncing her visual identity with her private relationship. These weren't just aesthetic choices, they were breadcrumb trails, laid months in advance, waiting for someone to connect the dots. Most men shopping for engagement rings don't stray far from traditional playbooks. Round, brilliant diamonds, platinum settings, one size fits all. TaWas Kels went another direction entirely. Choosing McCormack suggests he didn't just want a ring that looked good, he wanted one that fit Taylor's evolving identity. That means he studied not just her preferences but her philosophy, timelessness, depth, quiet elegance. That level of design awareness, especially from someone outside the fashion world, is rare. He didn't force his taste onto her. He stepped into her world, figured out what mattered there, and built something that aligned with it. Planning a proposal when you're one of the most recognizable athletes in America isn't a one-step task. It's a full-on strategy, and TaWas has experience with strategy on the biggest stages. Think of it like an NFL draft. You scout, you study, you anticipate the long-term impact. That's how he approached the engagement, say insiders. Multiple drafts of ring designs, personal touches researched over months, discreet coordination with stylists and jewelers. This wasn't a last-minute Hail Mary. It was a calculated play, one built on weeks of prep, emotional readiness, and long-term thinking. The result wasn't just successful, it was elegant. The era of spectacle may be over for Taylor Swift. This engagement ring doesn't scream for attention, it whispers meaning. Instead of opting for the flashiest celebrity standard, she chose something steeped in legacy, craft, and intimacy. It reflects her broader shift, moving away from mass appeal toward private significance. She's still in the public eye, but she's rewriting the rules about what iconic looks like. A legacy-driven life isn't smaller, it's deeper. The ring feels like a generational artifact, not a pop culture trophy. And in that sense, it represents a pivot not just in her relationship, but in her worldview. Choosing a ring designer isn't just a style decision, it's a personal alignment. Jessica McCormack's work speaks to a very specific type of person, someone who values tradition but reimagined, elegance but not fragility, permanence without predictability. For Taylor, who's always blended high-concept artistry with personal vulnerability, that aesthetic fits like a second skin. And for TaWas to recognize that on his own, without a public roadmap, says more than any grand romantic gesture. He didn't just pick a ring, he picked a philosophy. Designers aren't just artists, they're mirrors, and this mirror reflects exactly who Taylor is right now. It's easy to get distracted by the carrots, the cut, or the cost. But none of that is why people are still talking about this engagement. The story that stuck, the one that resonated, was the detail behind the decision. That one moment, 18 months ago, when Taylor admired a ring in a quiet room. And the fact that TaWas not only noticed but remembered and acted on it without being prompted. That's not strategy. That's intuition. It's relationship fluency at the highest level, where love becomes memory and memory becomes movement. The ring was just the artifact. The gesture was the message. TaWas didn't just choose a ring, he chose to remember. In a world full of spectacle, he made attention the centerpiece. And for someone like Taylor Swift, who spent her entire career chronicling emotions most people overlook, that kind of gesture cuts deeper than any diamond. This wasn't a love story told in headlines, it was one whispered in details, built in silence, and revealed in a ring that already knew its place in history. If you thought that was layered, wait until you see what's coming next.